When I was fired the last time from this show,
Wait,
people say to me, were you okay with that? And my answer is, I was happy.
Caroline Leavitt is the press secretary at the White House, doing a great job. Such a great job that the ladies of The View feel the green monster coming upon them.
Joy Behar has reportedly been arrested at an airport. The incident occurred as she was allegedly attempting to board an international flight. Witnesses claim she was approached by multiple security officers before being taken into custody. The reason for her arrest is still being determined, but reports suggest it is linked to the recent lawsuit filed against her. Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Behar, alleging that her comments on The View caused reputational damage. The legal filing accuses Behar of spreading false and misleading statements. Legal experts indicate that if the claims hold up in court, Behar could face financial and professional consequences. The arrest has sparked widespread discussion online. Some believe it was a necessary action due to the legal case. Others speculate that it was politically motivated. The public reaction has been divided, with strong opinions on both sides. The lawsuit against Behar originated from comments made during a live broadcast of The View. During the discussion, she referenced Caroline Leavitt's position at the White House and suggested that her selection was based on physical appearance rather than qualifications. The statement immediately drew attention from viewers, critics, and political analysts. Caroline Leavitt's legal team responded by filing a defamation lawsuit, arguing that Behar's statement was not only false, but also harmful to her career and credibility. The lawsuit seeks $50 million in damages, which is an unusually high amount for such cases. Some legal experts believe the number is a strategic move to force a settlement. Others argue that the lawsuit could set a precedent for media accountability. ABC has not made an official statement regarding the lawsuit. The network has faced criticism in the past for allowing controversial discussions on The View. There is speculation about whether ABC executives were aware of the potential legal risk before the episode aired. The company may choose to distance itself from the situation depending on how the case develops. The lawsuit has triggered strong reactions across social media platforms. Discussions have escalated, with supporters and critics engaging in debates. Some argue that Behar's comments reflect a broader issue of bias in the media. Others believe the lawsuit is excessive and may have political motivations behind it. Public figures have weighed in on the controversy. Some journalists and commentators have expressed concerns over media freedom, suggesting that suing a television host for their remarks could set a difficult precedent. Others believe that defamation cases should be taken seriously when they involve public figures spreading false claims. Major news outlets have begun covering the lawsuit in depth. Some networks have focused on the legal aspects, while others have highlighted the political implications. Regardless of perspective, the case has drawn national attention. Reports suggest that Behar attempted to leave the country shortly after the lawsuit was filed. Sources claim she booked a one-way ticket to Italy, possibly to avoid legal proceedings. There has been no confirmation from Behar or her representatives regarding the intent behind her travel plans.
Democrats and the media are now unloading all their nasty attacks on rising Trump White House star and new press secretary, Caroline Leavitt.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10.
The circumstances surrounding her departure have led to speculation. Some believe she was simply taking a scheduled vacation. Others suggest she may have been advised to leave before facing legal consequences. There is also a possibility that her departure was unrelated to the lawsuit, though the timing has raised questions. Authorities were reportedly made aware of her travel plans and intervened before she could leave. The level of coordination involved suggests that law enforcement agencies were monitoring the situation closely. The exact legal justification for stopping her departure has yet to be disclosed. Eyewitnesses described Joy Behar's arrest as both sudden and chaotic, with airport security and federal agents quickly moving in before she could check in for her international flight. According to multiple reports, Behar had just arrived at the airport, seemingly unaware that authorities were waiting for her. Passengers in the terminal watched as a group of officers approached her, requesting that she step aside for questioning. Moments later, she was escorted away, leaving onlookers in shock. Initial accounts suggest that Behar attempted to ask questions, appearing confused about the situation. Some sources claim that she insisted she had done nothing wrong and questioned whether this was a misunderstanding. Others report that she remained silent, following the officers without resistance. The exact exchange remains unclear, as multiple conflicting narratives have emerged about how she reacted in those critical moments. As Behar was led through the terminal, bystanders quickly pulled out their phones, capturing videos of the unfolding scene. Within minutes, footage of her being taken into custody was uploaded online, going viral across social media platforms. Clips of her surrounded by federal agents spread like wildfire, leading to immediate speculation and debate about the reason behind her arrest. Some users online suggested that this was a planned takedown, while others questioned whether she was actually being arrested or simply detained for questioning. Reports began to contradict one another regarding how the situation escalated. Some claimed Behar attempted to resist, while others stated that she calmly complied with the officer's instructions. There were even rumors that she argued with TSA agents prior to being approached by federal authorities, though no official footage has confirmed these claims. Due to the lack of transparency from law enforcement, discussions online have ranged from accusations of excessive force to theories that the entire event was staged for publicity. Some media sources immediately linked the arrest to the defamation lawsuit filed against Behar by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. They suggest that Behar was attempting to leave the country to avoid legal proceedings, which could be interpreted as an attempt to evade justice. If true, this could have serious legal ramifications, potentially leading to obstruction of justice or flight risk allegations.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
However, other reports have suggested that the arrest may not be directly related to the lawsuit at all. Some sources claim that Behar may have had an outstanding legal issue that predates this controversy. Others have raised the possibility that she was flagged for an entirely unrelated matter, though no specifics have been provided. Until officials release further details, the public remains in the dark about what exactly led to this moment. Behar's legal team has not provided any clarity on the arrest either. They have refused to comment, leaving many to wonder whether they were caught off guard by this sudden development. If Behar was detained for something unrelated to the lawsuit, it could dramatically shift the narrative surrounding her legal troubles. On the other hand, if this arrest is connected to the lawsuit, it could indicate that her case is far more serious than initially believed. As the situation unfolds, the only certainty is that this story is far from over. More details are expected to emerge, and depending on what law enforcement officials disclose, this could either be a temporary setback for Behar or the beginning of a much larger legal battle. ABC issued a statement addressing the controversy but did not confirm or deny the details of Behar's arrest. The network announced that Behar would not be appearing on The View for the foreseeable future. The decision has raised questions about whether her removal is temporary or permanent. Insiders claim that ABC executives were caught off guard by the situation. The network has faced multiple controversies involving The View, and some believe this may force management to implement stricter regulations for on-air discussions. There is also speculation that the network could be looking for a long-term replacement for Behar. Several ABC advertisers have expressed concern over the situation. Sponsorship deals are often contingent on maintaining a certain level of public credibility. If the backlash against Behar continues, ABC may need to reevaluate its approach to handling similar incidents in the future. Some analysts have questioned the timing of Behar's arrest. Given that it occurred shortly after the lawsuit was filed, there is speculation that it was politically motivated. Others believe the arrest was part of a broader strategy to limit media figures from making defamatory statements. There is also a theory that ABC may have facilitated the arrest as a way to distance itself from Behar. This theory suggests that the network saw an opportunity to part ways with her without directly terminating her contract. No evidence has been presented to support this claim, but it has gained traction in online discussions. Despite these theories, legal experts argue that defamation cases rarely lead to arrests. The involvement of law enforcement raises questions about whether other legal issues were at play. Authorities have not disclosed any additional charges against Behar. Joy Behar has not yet issued a formal statement regarding her arrest or the ongoing lawsuit. Since news of her detention broke, she has remained out of the public eye, fueling speculation about her next move. Some reports suggest she is being advised to stay silent while her legal team formulates a strategy.
She did the job that Karine Jean-Pierre did, but she worked in politics for 21 years, 5 presidential campaigns, and worked in 2 administrations.
I was stunned and amazed by his new White House spokeswoman today. She's actually the youngest ever in that job. Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point, courage.
Others believe she is deliberately avoiding media attention to prevent further controversy from escalating. Sources close to Behar indicate that she has been actively consulting with attorneys to explore her legal options. Given the high-profile nature of the case, her legal team is reportedly weighing multiple approaches, including whether to contest the lawsuit outright or pursue a quiet settlement to avoid prolonged public scrutiny. If she chooses to fight the case in court, it could set a legal precedent for defamation lawsuits involving media figures. However, if she opts for a settlement, it may signal an attempt to move past the controversy quickly without risking further damage to her reputation. Behind the scenes, Behar has reportedly been reaching out to colleagues and allies for support. Some media industry insiders have come to her defense, arguing that public figures should be allowed to express opinions without fear of excessive legal retaliation. However, others, including some of her longtime associates, have remained noticeably silent on the issue. The lack of public backing from high-profile supporters has led some to question whether Behar has lost favor within the industry, particularly among executives who may view her as a liability. ABC executives are reportedly divided over how to handle the situation. While some believe Behar could potentially return to The View once the controversy subsides, others fear that keeping her on the show would further alienate advertisers and sponsors. If Behar does not return, it remains unclear whether she will attempt to transition to another network, launch an independent media project, or retire altogether. As for her legal team, they have not yet provided specific details on their strategy. If Behar chooses to fight the lawsuit, legal analysts believe the case could become one of the most high-profile defamation trials in recent media history. The lawsuit's outcome may not only impact Behar's future in television, but could also influence how networks regulate on-air discussions involving political figures. Despite the legal turmoil, Behar still retains a significant following. If she successfully defends herself or reaches a favorable settlement, she may attempt to rebuild her reputation and re-establish herself as a media figure. However, if the case goes against her, she could face financial losses, permanent career damage, and a diminished public presence. At this point, the direction of Behar's response remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. Whatever move she makes next will shape the future of her career, and possibly the media industry itself. Leavitt has continued to discuss the lawsuit in public appearances. She maintains that the case is about holding media figures accountable for false statements. Some analysts believe she is using the controversy to strengthen her public profile. There has been speculation about whether Leavitt intends to pursue further legal action. If the lawsuit is successful, it could set a precedent for other public figures to take similar steps. Some believe this case could influence how defamation laws are applied in the media industry. Despite the legal battle, Leavitt has remained active in her role as press secretary. Her team has not indicated whether the lawsuit will impact her political career. Analysts are watching closely to see if the case has any long-term implications. Behar's career remains uncertain. If she loses the lawsuit, she could face financial consequences. If she wins, she may attempt to restore her reputation. ABC has not confirmed whether she will return to The View. The lawsuit could influence how media figures discuss public officials in the future. Some believe it could lead to increased caution when making statements about political figures. Others argue it could limit free speech in media discussions. For now, the outcome remains unclear. The case will likely continue to develop in the coming weeks.